das hat meine auch gehört, ne?
So.
Du kannst es auch so nehmen, ohne. Nö, das Handy nur mit dem Ding, aber nicht.
Ja, aber hier kommt der Ton rein. Weil hier sind noch
What's that? Yeah, I can test. Do you want me to test? Testing one. Testing table mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing one. Testing table mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing one. Testing two. Testing three. Testing four. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing table mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing one. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't hear this. Yeah. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1. Testing 2. Testing 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing. Testing table mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1. Testing 2.
Ich habe jetzt gedacht, um 4 Uhr Kannst du sie orten? Dieter Erzek hinterm Ohr, oder?
Und der Clou. Wie ist das eigentlich? Weißt du schon, wo denn, in welcher Stadt die dann spielen? Oder ist das noch durchgehend?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing table mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1. Testing 2. Testing 3, 4, 5. Testing 6, 7, 8. Testing 1. Testing 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing, testing. Testing 1. Testing 2. Testing table mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, hello everybody. Warm welcome to all. FC Bayern is looking forward for the Champions League match tomorrow against Arsenal. And the day before, as usual, we start with a press conference right now with Harry Kane. Hi, Harry.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello. And yes, let's go. Where the first question? First row, Julian Wolf for the Ladies and Gentlemen.
Hi, Harry.
Hello.
Good evening. Harry, Arsenal is very, very strong. What do you think? What is the key tomorrow? What will be the key, and what kind of match do you expect?
Yeah, it will be a really tough game for sure. Obviously, they're top of the Premier League for a reason. They've won every game in the Champions League for a reason. They have good habits as a team. They've been working with Mikel now for a long time, and I think you see the way they set up, the way they get second balls, the way they play. Obviously, can be really dangerous, and then with set pieces added to that as well, they're obviously a really solid team. So we have to try and match them in all those departments. We have to try and play in our way, in our style. Try and make it difficult for them to get the ball. Try and keep the momentum on our side, and use kind of our strengths as well to try and win the ball back quick when they have it. So we'll be, two of the best teams in Europe going at each other tomorrow night, and we're looking forward to kind of testing ourselves against a team like that.
Next one is Hannah Wright for Malcolm and TZ.
Hi, Harry.
Hi.
We all know you love scoring against every team in the world, but is scoring against Arsenal even more fun for you, out of several reasons?
I'm not too sure. Obviously, when I was at Tottenham in those days, it was always a big game, always a big moment in the North London derby. But ultimately, the game isn't about me and Arsenal. The game is about Bayern Munich and Arsenal. And obviously, I'm in good form, and I feel like I can score against any team. And hopefully tomorrow night I can do that as well. But I don't think it means any more or less in that sense. It's about trying to help my team to win the game, and that's what I'll try and do tomorrow.
Next is Stefan Kumberger for Sport 1.
Hi, Harry. Everybody said your first half, the first half of Bayern Munich against Paris, was the best one since 4 years. Is it even possible to do it again? Such a big game against a top team like Arsenal?
I think the game will be different. I think PSG play in a different style to Arsenal. So from that sense, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, that was a big moment for us, a big confidence boost for us to be able to play like that against the reigning European champions away from home. Tomorrow will be another tough game away from home, but we have to see how the game goes. I think we've shown, especially this season, in the style that we play, in the enthusiasm, in the energy that we bring, we try and take our level to a period where teams find it hard to match it, and we've done that especially the first half against PSG. So we'll try and do the same tomorrow. I think defensively, Arsenal play a little bit more solid and a little bit more structured, then we played PSG before, and it's a lot of man-for-man press, a lot of man-for-man duels. So from that sense, it'll be a little bit different. But ultimately, we'll try and play in our best way possible, and we know, if we get it right, we can be dangerous against anyone.
Hi, Harry. Just speaking about defensively, when you don't have the ball, pressing. I suppose Martin Zubimendi has been so crucial for Arsenal this year in that deep-lying playmaker role. He almost knits everything together. Is that going to be an emphasis for you to press him high up the pitch and press him, take the tempo of the game?
Yeah, I think against any good player, no matter who they are, if you don't give them time on the ball, it can be difficult. And we've done that against every team we've played, especially this season, no matter the opposition and no matter the opponent. So, tomorrow will be no different. We know the way, the way we like to play, and you've seen the way we like to press and win the ball back quickly and almost encourage teams to try and play, because we create a lot of chances from winning the ball back high. But also Arsenal will know that as well, and they know the risk that comes with playing. So I can imagine it'll be a battle of playing out of tight areas and who can do it better. We always back ourselves to be the ones to try and win the ball back high at the pitch.
Hi there, Harry.
Sorry.
Okay.
Second.
Hi, Harry. You've got an unbelievable record against Arsenal, and previously you've said that sort of you had a bit of a chip on your shoulder when you've played against them, just because you were, with them briefly as a youngster. Do you still use that as an extra edge? Is that why your record's so, incredible against them?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe subconsciously that's the case. I think, obviously, like I spoke about with Tottenham, it was always a big game. It was always one of the biggest games of the season, playing against Arsenal. I have a lot of friends who are Arsenal, who are Tottenham fans, kind of there's a feeling around it. With Bayern, it's a little bit different because obviously we don't play against them a lot. We played against them a couple of years ago in the quarter-final, which was a big win for us. So from my point of view, maybe just gives me a little bit more joy. Really, it comes down to winning the game as well. If I score and we don't win, it's not going to matter. So my record is okay here at the stadium. I've scored a lot of goals, but I haven't won the games. So it'd be nice if that can change on that.
Hi there, Harry.
Hi.
Hi. Again, seasons ago, what have you made of Arsenal when they're developed since that game in the Champions League?
A bit more experience. They've got a bit more solid. They still probably play in similar patterns to what they did then, but I think just defensively, their structure is harder to break down, and just probably more experience. I go back to, I think, when you've been under the same coach for a while and learned from title races, learned from Champions League campaigns. Ultimately, you learn as a player and get better as a player. And I think them as a squad, plus some of the additions they've added as well, has helped them to grow, and that's why they're in the position they are now. And like I said earlier, it'll be a good test for us to see where we're at tomorrow night.
Next one is Kane. Yeah.
Hi, Harry. There's been a lot of talk about Leonard Kahl in Germany recently. Can you explain a little bit what kind of a player he is, and do you think he's ready for a game like tomorrow?
Yeah, I think he's ready. I think he's shown he's ready in every kind of moment he's played for us this season. I don't think it matters too much of the age. I think you see the confidence he has. I think you see the ability of playing under pressure, playing in tight areas. He's really quick, really agile, so he's hard to kind of man mark in a way. And yeah, he's a good player. From our point of view, we're really happy he's doing what he's doing. I think he just needs to continue to work hard. I think he's got a great group to be around. He's got a great manager to be working under who will keep him free in terms of expressing himself, but also level-headed to not get carried away. And if he plays tomorrow night, I'm sure he'll be excited, and I'm sure he'll try and get on the ball and make a difference like he has done in his previous starts as well.
Next one, Florian Plettenberg for Sky.
Hi, Harry.
Hi.
If you compare the Bayern matches now with 1 year before, you have there were some problems against Barcelona, for example. What is the big difference compared to 1 year before and winning the Champions League in your career? What would it mean to you, and do you see there is a serious chance this year? Thanks.
Yeah, for me it would mean an awful lot to win a trophy like this. To have that on my resume as well would be incredible. I think we have we're going as one of the favourites this year for sure. I think we learned a lot from last year, like you touched on there. Some of the games like Barcelona, in terms of how we press and still being aggressive, but with certain habits that will help us not always be man for man and be so open. And I think you've seen that evolve over the last 9 months, 8 to 9 months, I'd say. And you've seen this season, I think, just from a consistent point of view, how good we've been. And we speak about that game every now and then, to be honest, and what we learned from that game. And I feel like with the team and the squad is just understanding the ideas more, both with and without the ball. And we look back at that game as one of kind of the turning points. I think we went on to have 8 clean sheets in a row after that Barcelona game. So we learned a lot, and we kind of continued that progress into this season as well.
Other side, for the row, yes.
Hi, Harry. Just want to ask you about Michael Olise. You'd have played against him in the Premier League with Spurs, and he was, obviously a superb player at Palace. But how much has he improved now, and how, playing with him week in, week out at Bayern?
Yeah, really, really great guy, Michael. Really great professional. Obviously played against him a little bit. I don't think we actually played that much against each other in the Prem, but you could see the quality he had. But I think the biggest thing for me is his attitude and the way he conducts himself every day. Always willing to learn, always willing to improve, train hard, work hard in the gym. And I think you've just seen an evolution of him coming to a bigger team, a better team with better players around him. And he's just kind of flourished in that environment. And the form he's in at the moment is as high as I've seen him in the kind of 18 months or just under 18 months we've been together, and I can only see him getting better as well. So it'll be a tough test for him tomorrow. It'll be a good battle, but he's full of confidence right now, and so he should be.
Next one on the left side, give a hand sign, please.
Good evening, Harry. Welcome back to England. I'm Daniel from Bench Views.
Thank you.
You're going to be sharing a pitch with a number of your England peers tomorrow. Does that give the fixture a little bit of an extra kick? And has there been any gamesmanship between you guys?
We spoke about the game a little bit when we was in England camp a couple of weeks ago, and just the general banter that happens. And I think we're all looking forward to it. Obviously, it's good from an England point of view to see those guys doing as well as they are, and that's only going to help us as a national team. I think also playing in big games like this will help, come the World Cup next summer as well. So, come game time, it's about the teams, and, we'll be focused on our own performances and not worried about the friendship. And then I'm sure after we'll catch up. But, I think both teams are in a really good moment. Both teams are top of their leagues. We're even in points in the Champions League. So it's almost a game just to feel a bit free and just kind of express ourselves and see, where that takes us.
Next one in the last row, yeah.
Okay. Hi, Harry. It's Boris from Antenna 5. You spoke how you will press Arsenal tomorrow, how you play on the field, but they are the kings of set plays, and they're very effective from dead ball situations. Did you plan in training how you would counter this threat? And also, I don't know if you follow the Premier League this season, there's more goals from set plays than from open play. Will that change football at all?
From for the second point, there's definitely been more set plays. Watching the Premier League is probably a little less enjoyable than what it has been in recent years, to be honest. But that's kind of the evolution of football. Sometimes it comes in like this, and that's the case this year. Arsenal, capitalised on that, and they're a really strong set plays team. We've done our normal preparation that we do in every game. Obviously, we looked at what they do well and their threats, and how we can try and stop that. The best way of stopping that is not giving set plays away, which we're hoping to try and do as little as possible if we can control the game in the way that we want to control the game. But obviously, they're going to have some, and it's just a matter of showing some personality, winning the duels. We spoke about that, which we didn't do as well on the weekend. And even for the more experienced players to stand up and make sure that when those occasions do arise, that we're willing to defend them well.
Let's have two more. Yes, on the left side, please.
Harry Lorenzia from Idaskitan in South Africa. A lot was made about Vincent Kompany when he was appointed. Obviously, coming from Burnley, we were relegated. Globally, they were talking about how this could happen. But obviously, it started really well. One of the informed teams in Europe. what has he done since coming into you personally as a centre forward, because you've been in incredible form, and what have you made of his management style as a new modern coach?
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of him, to be honest. I think from everything, from the way we play, from the way we train, from the way he is with the team, in the meeting room, around the place, I think he sets the example of how a team is built and how a team should behave. In terms of how we play, I think it's bring out an even better side of my game and allowed me to express some other qualities that maybe I didn't always express playing as just an out and out nine. And yeah, just kind of the fearlessness and pressing high, wanting the ball, not being afraid to play 1v1, and just kind of having that mindset of we're going to be the dominant team. And he's just brought a great confidence to everyone. I think you've seen not just me but other players improve as well and understand the game in different ways. And yeah, I've been really impressed working with him. And hopefully this season we can kind of have the reward of the work that we're putting in.
Okay, the last one, please. Yeah.
Hi, Harry. There's been some talk about your future today. You said it's very unlikely that anything will change after this season. Do you see yourself playing at Bayern Munich for a good few years yet? And how has the move improved you as a player and taken your game on?
Yeah, the move has been, I think, one of the best decisions in my life. I've loved every moment of it. I think to experience a new league, to experience a team like Bayern Munich, and have these European nights, have the atmospheres in the German league, and just surround myself in different cultures and different players, I think has been a great step in my career. I think it's helped me kind of evolve as a player, helped me improve as a player. And I think you're seeing that version of me right now, really. And what was the first point you said there, sorry?
Do you see yourself being at Bayern Munich for a good few years yet?
Yeah, I spoke about this before. I'm quite open to staying longer. I think the way we are right now and the way we're playing, I feel like we're one of the best teams in Europe for sure. So I don't look at any other team and feel like, I want to go there and improve there. I think at the moment I'm really happy here, and I've got just over 18 months left on my contract, and look, I'm sure there'll be some discussions over the next couple of months on the future and what Bayern want to do, because also they got to want to do it if I was to extend. So all I can say right now is I'm really happy here, and I can't see anything changing in the near future.
Okay, thanks, Harry. We will continue with the coach.
Thank you.
In a couple of minutes. Thanks. Okay, after Harry Kane, we now welcome our head coach, Vincent Kompany. And quickly going on, who wants to be the first? Hannah Reif in the first row for Merkur und TZ in Munich. The microphone, where's the microphone, please? Oh.
Hallo, Herr Kompany. Mikel Arteta hat gerade über Sie gesagt, er wusste schon immer, dass Sie mal Trainer werden. Wenn man über Sie spricht, heißt es immer, Sie sind von Pep Guardiola geprägt. Aber hat auch er Sie geprägt? Gibt es was in Ihrem Spiel, in Ihrer Art des Coachens, was von Mikel Arteta kommt?
Can I answer this in English? Is that okay? I mean, obviously for me, it was obviously easy to see that he would become a coach because he was the assistant, and it felt like this was a natural progression for him. I think it's normal. I had the same when I think we played against Enzo Maresca recently as well, and obviously because Pep is such a dominant figure, it's normal that he takes these huge plays as the person who probably inspired a lot of people to become a coach. But then for me, the thing is, if you look at the evolution of Mikel's team and what they do and how they do it, you can't forget that he's got a very rich history with other coaches as well and at other clubs. And what you see in his game is just incredible physicality of the team, attention to detail to every phase. Of course, the set pieces, everybody knows it, but it's a team that has very, very few weaknesses in any phase of play, and that's something that is also Mikel's character in his attention to detail. And yeah, of course, there's no doubt that Pep has played an incredible role in many people's careers and mine as well. Forever grateful. But both teams are quite different as well. And that's what makes this game as well quite special tomorrow.
Nächster Julian Wolf für die Welt, bitte.
Hallo Vincent, in dieser Saison war es ja in Deutschland so in der Bundesliga dominiert und dann wurde gesagt, wo Bayern wirklich steht international, sieht man gegen Chelsea, gewonnen. Danach war es so, die Meinung war, man sieht in Paris, wie gut Bayern ist, auch wieder gewonnen. Wie sehen Sie das vor diesem Spiel? Ist das wieder so ein Härtetest oder also geht Bayern als Favorit in das Spiel oder würden Sie wirklich sagen, morgen kann man sehen, wie weit es vielleicht in der Saison
gehen kann? Ich weiß nicht, wie ich das sehen muss für morgen, aber ich weiß schon, was gesagt wird nach diesem Spiel. Dann wird es gesagt, wir sehen erstmal im Viertelfinale, wir sehen erstmal, und dann, wenn wir die Viertelfinale spielen, und hoffentlich kommen wir da, dann wird gesagt, dann sehen wir erstmal im Halbfinale und dann erstmal im Finale. Und so geht das immer so. Die Pfoste wird immer ein bisschen weiter geschoben und deswegen ist es auch nicht so wichtig für mich. Wir haben erstmal unsere ersten 4 Gruppenspiele gewonnen. Das war schon mal wichtig. Jeder hat es gewusst vorher, sie haben die Namen gesehen, Chelsea zu Hause, Arsenal auswärts, PSG auswärts, und dann noch andere Mannschaften dazu wie PSV und Brügge, die auch nicht einfach sind. Und bis jetzt haben wir unsere Aufgabe gemacht. Wir hoffen, dass es jetzt weitergeht, aber das ist wahrscheinlich im Moment, ich habe es vor 3-4 Wochen auch gesagt, aber jetzt sage ich es wieder, es ist wahrscheinlich im Moment die schwierigste Aufgabe, das ist gegen diese Mannschaft zu spielen. Aber das freut uns, deswegen sind wir hier, wir wollen das. Ja.
Du hast das Mikrofon schön versteckt, wenn du es rüberreichst, bitte, Kollegen, einmal zu ganz außen Martin Volkmar für ranlegen.
Hallo Herr Kompany. Wie haben Sie jetzt die Standards nochmal angesprochen im Training, Videoschulung? Sehen Sie das als Risiko? Wie gefährlich ist Arsenal da? Und vor allen Dingen auch, wie kann man Einwürfe verteidigen? Weil das ist ja ein Erfolgsmittel von der Mannschaft.
Ja, aber das ist erstmal die Wahrheit. Wir haben in den letzten Spielen da nicht unsere normale Stärke gezeigt. Und ich habe es schön miterlebt als Spieler auch, dann kommst du durch so eine Phase. Das heißt nicht, dass du in dieser Phase nicht gut bist, in dieser Spielphase nicht gut bist. Das heißt nur, du musst es jetzt besser machen in die nächsten Spiele, weil du hast nicht performt letztendlich und auf diese Situation. Aber wir haben das natürlich analysiert, wir haben natürlich darauf gearbeitet, obwohl ich sagen muss, dass gegen Arsenal sogar die beste Mannschaft auch immer Schwierigkeiten bekommen können. Aber trotzdem, jetzt spricht man auf einer Seite über, was für den passieren kann. Und ich mag eigentlich nicht zu viel nur in die Verteidigung zu denken, dass, okay, wenn die das machen, haben wir ein Problem. Aber was, wenn wir unser Spiel machen können? Was, wenn wir unsere Leistung bringen können? Und am Ende bin ich mir sicher, dass es schwierig sein wird, morgen unsere Tore zu schießen. Aber wir können das auch und das müssen wir auch versuchen. Und das kommt dann dagegenüber. Und trotzdem wollen wir da besser werden, damit wir wieder die ganz starke Mannschaft werden auf Standards. Offensiv sind wir das noch, aber dass wir wieder die Verteidiger noch die ganz stabile Standardmannschaft sein, die wir normal sein werden, die wir normal sein, ja. Ja, das gehört dazu. Das gehört dazu. Aber ja, ich meine, ich habe 11 Jahre Fußball gespielt in England. Ich war auch Trainer in 2. Liga. Also da kommt fast jeder Einwurf in deinen 16-Meter-Raum rein. Irgendwann musst du deine Verteidiger auch sagen, okay Jungs, wir müssen das Ding wegköpfen. Und klar, die kommen danach auf die zweite Bälle und da musst du auch mit deinen Mitfeldspielern, Stürmer, alle noch da sein, die zweite Bälle wegzuholen. Aber das jetzt wieder sehr verteidigend. Das heißt, man kann auch aus dieser Situation einen Counter kreieren, man kann aus dieser Situation auch einen Vorteil kreieren, obwohl das natürlich immer schwierig ist.
Next one on the last row, please.
Hi there. Can I just follow up on what you were saying about Mikel Arteta? When you were being coached by him at City, did you detect something special about him? And is any part of you surprised at the level that he's now reached with Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Mikel played a big role as part of the supporting staff for everything I'm saying now. By the way, I've said it already before when I came here with Burnley. It was just less of you guys in here, but I've said it before. But he's now he was a big part of the supporting staff, and you could see his activity around the place. Obviously Pep was the architect, but behind him he had people that were just constantly giving him feedback and sort of challenging him, and he was definitely that person. So I think when he left, no one was necessarily surprised that he would become the manager he can become, and I have to say I'm really impressed by this Arsenal team. I think operationally, if you look at sort of how they are set up in every phase. And for us coaches, there's one thing, which is, of course, winning trophies. But then there's another thing. You just look at how a team is being. If you look at how they are set up in every phase, benchmark for many, many things. When they defend the box, it's not many in the world who do better than them. When they take throw-ins, defend set pieces, defend throw-ins, when they take kickoffs, defend kickoffs, there's not many teams who are set up better. And they're a team, of course, with players who can also create. It's a very strong outfit. They've been together for 6 years. In terms of Mikel being here, and you can see that. But I love every bit of the challenge because we come in a really good phase as well, and I think both teams have done what they needed to do to this point to kind of see the light. The team that wins this game towards being qualified for the next round. First 8 places. Ja.
Nächster Stefan Kumberger, 3-1 für Schwarz.
Vincent, guten Abend. Sie wissen, es gibt Verhandlungen mit Upamecano, auch Harry hat über seine Zukunft gesprochen. Welche Rolle können Sie spielen? Weil für viele Spieler sind Sie ja ein wichtiger Faktor. Alle sind von Ihnen begeistert. Können Sie einschalten und Probleme, die es vielleicht gibt, lösen?
Ja, ich muss ehrlich sagen, ich habe zu intensiv gearbeitet auf dieses Arsenal, um jetzt über Verträge Frage noch kommen wird, aber trotzdem, was ich in die erste Woche gesagt habe, wenn ich in Bayern gekommen bin, wir lösen das als Familie, wir werden irgendwann alle unsere Rolle spielen und mal schauen, was dann passiert, aber erstmal hoffentlich morgen gewinnen.
In der dritten Reihe Florian Plettenberg für Sky.
Diplomatisch gelöst. Servus Vincent. Bevor wir die Frage vergessen, Personal.
Es war nicht nur diplomatisch, es war auch ehrlich.
Diplomatisch respektvoll. Was können Sie uns zum Personal sagen? Kimmich, Gnabry, Ito. Und eine Frage zu Lennart Kahl. Man hatte oft das Gefühl, ein junger Spieler könne dankbar sein, dass er Minuten bekommt. Jetzt merkt man, er hat schon einen gewaltigen Einfluss auf das Bayern-Spiel. Hat er längst diese Schwelle übertreten, der Jugendspieler zu sein, der kleine Lennart Kahl? Und ist er ab sofort ein ernsthafter Startelf-Kandidat, auch dauerhaft? Danke.
Ja, lass uns jetzt 10 Jahre vorausschauen. Und der Lennart Kahl, der dann 27 ist, wird sagen über Lennart Kahl von heute, ich war damals noch jung. Also er ist jetzt noch jung, er wird noch jung sein, einige Jahre, er muss das auch nicht, das ist auch gut, das muss er auch genießen. Und das heißt für mich, was er dann macht mit seinen Leistungen, das kann jetzt so weitergehen, die nächsten 10, 20, 30 Spiele, das ist kein Problem, das wollen wir auch unterstützen, dass er das macht, dass er das kann. Die Frage ist halt, wie gehen wir um, wenn das mal nicht mehr passiert. Und dann in dieser Phase sind wir ganz überzeugt über, was er in Zukunft werden kann. Und das wird jetzt nicht abhängen, das wird jetzt nicht so sein, dass wenn er morgen nicht gut spielt, dass auf einmal unsere Gedanke endet über Lennart Kahl. Und gut, was er jetzt in diesem Moment macht, vom Gefühl her ist er mental stabil. Seine Leistungen sind nicht nur offensiv gut, aber natürlich auch verteidigend sehr gut. Morgen ist ein anderes Spiel, es ist wieder ein anderer Test und ja, wir gehen gerne mit seiner Entwicklung auf jeden Fall. Ja. Entschuldigung. Ja, Sergio, Entschuldigung, ja. Ich versuche dann die Personalfrage gerne zu vergessen, aber danke Dieter. Danke Dieter. Ja, Serge sieht gut aus. Ob er jetzt anfängt oder nicht, oder 90 Minuten spielen kann oder nicht, das ist noch eine Frage von morgen. Aber er sieht gut aus und wir haben ein bisschen Angst gehabt, muss ich ehrlich sagen, aber er sieht gut aus. Er gibt gute Signale und Jo hat seit heute auch gute Signale gegeben. Also heute war für uns ein positiver Tag. Also hoffentlich haben wir die ganze Mannschaft zur Verfügung.
Haben wir noch 3 Fragen bitte? Yes, please.
Good evening, Vincent. Daniel from Bench Use. Apologies in advance because this is another question about Pep and Mikel. But I do want to ask, you did say that there is differences between your Bayern side and Mikel's Arsenal side. Is there any similarities that you see, that tactically?
Yeah, I think, you know what, it's because, and it doesn't actually bother me at all because I want to give credit where it's due, you know. But I try to be a logical mind because I get these questions obviously when I played against Alonso 5 times last year. I get that question. When I played against Enzo Maresca this year, I get that question. When I play against Mikel, I get that question, which is I like it because I actually don't want to talk down the role that this man Pep has had for me. You know, the only thing is, if you all analyze the 4 teams I've just mentioned and how different they are from one another and how they operate, actually that's for you guys then to reflect on it and say, why is that? So, you know, play against Alonso and actually we're very different. Tomorrow's game, if you look at both teams and how we behave in many phases, we're very different. We have things in common, but we're very different. And the same with Chelsea and the same with... And that's for me interesting, sort of like, to sort of look at, actually, yes, but look at the differences and why is that? It's for you to figure out. Yeah.
Hi, Vincent. Back to those long balls and stop-start tactics. I mean, in your time at Manchester City, when you were the champion, we only had Stoke City and Tony Pulis, right? So how disruptive is it when an opponent, takes so long to throw the ball in from a throw-in or to set up a dead ball situation? Harry said you didn't train any specifics, to counter the threat from Arsenal, from set pieces and such. But how disruptive is it? Because you're a pressing team, and you are not changing the way you're playing. I mean, is it a phase with these long throws?
Yeah. Sorry, did you say we didn't train?
He said you didn't pay special attention to their way. Harry Kane just now.
Right.
Oh, maybe he wasn't telling the truth. I don't know.
Good smoke screen there. No, I mean there is a part of it as well, which and I'm sure it's the same for Arsenal. You get to those big stages, and it doesn't matter whether I was a player for in my playing career. It's the same when you play for the big teams. You'll analyze the opposition, you recognize their strengths, but then you also have an incredible amount of belief in your own strengths. So it's totally true that there's so much to take into consideration when you play against a team like Arsenal, and you know the momentum of the game, the set plays, and everything else. It's only a fraction, but it's a part of the game that you have to take care of. But they have to do the same. We want to have a good day tomorrow, and if we have a good day tomorrow, we're capable of showing things as well ourselves. So take full acknowledgement of what makes them special at the moment, and then I never forget at the end of it to acknowledge what's made us special so far, and to make sure that that's a part of tomorrow's game if we can, you know.
Last one in German for Heiko Niederler.
Hallo, guten Abend.
Hallo.
Serge Gnabry hat so eine besondere London-Vergangenheit. Er trifft besonders gerne in London, hat 4 Tore in Tottenham gemacht, 2 Tore in Chelsea und auch gegen Arsenal in Arsenal getroffen. Spielt sowas eine Rolle als Trainer, dass man sagt, wenn man diese Statistik kennt, den muss man besonders bringen oder den kann man besonders einsetzen in so einem Spiel?
Nicht so viel, aber was ich natürlich weiß, ist, Spieler brauchen auch Vertrauen. Und du kannst deine Vertrauen holen aus egal was im Leben. Und wenn das 10% extra Vertrauen gibt an der Serge, dann nehme ich das auch gerne mit, auf jeden Fall. Nur, ich glaube, es gibt nicht so viele Entscheidungen morgen, weil es sind viele Fitnessentscheidungen. Also wer ist fit und kann in diese Rolle spielen, kann spielen morgen. Und auf jeden Fall wird Serge eine Rolle spielen, ob es jetzt von Anfang an ist oder nicht, das werden wir sehen. Aber es hat auch viel mit Fitness zu tun und deswegen kann ich dieses Thema nicht so breit machen. Ich muss es einfach behalten.
Okay, danke Vinny. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Gut.